Hello everyone, we are back today with a familiar mold with a new spin. So if you'll recall, last time we did a very traditional looking set of roses, and I want to go different. I want to go a little bit darker, a little bit more Gothic, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First, by starting with this lovely purple here, which, doing my little test on the rose, I think I like how that color is going to be, so I'm going to put that to the side. I want to kind of just get some of the deeper, smaller details started on. My brain jumps everywhere, y'all. I'm start to do one thing and then I jump straight to the next, but mostly there's a method to the madness. I want to see how the colors look together before I put too much of it down. And I actually think that this dark blue and this dark purple is going to work really well, so we're going to keep that. Let's see now. I think we're just, that's definitely going to be a nice color for what I'm planning. You'll notice that some of this mica powder might look like it's gumming up a little bit. That's because I had just finished cleaning this mold, and it wasn't as dry as I thought it was, but it's not to worry. I mean, mica powder dries, and when it dries, whatever was clumpy is just going to flake off or be easier to be spread around, so it's slightly annoying, and I wish I would have dried it a little bit better, but it's also not a huge deal, as it's not going to mess with the outcome or the process. Let's go ahead and start getting some more of these roses filled in. Supposedly a shimmery blue. I always feel like it comes out white or silvery looking. I don't know where they get the blue part from, but because I'm going to do something a little bit differently with this pour, I want to go ahead and pull this out anyway, because I'm curious to see what it will do. Because so far on the whole entirety of this channel, I know that I have just done a bunch of white resin pours. And as you're going to see when we get to the pouring part of this video, that is not what we're going to do this time. Who knows, maybe the darker color will make that so-called blue show up a little bit more, but I'm going to also dust a little bit of gray over it just to see if that won't also cause some interesting effects. And now I've got decisions to make about how I want to color this hilt and these leaves. And I think I'm going to mix a little bit of black mica powder into that gray so that we can pull out an even darker gray color, because fun fact, I didn't have gray mica powder in like the literally hundreds of pigments I had. I didn't have gray, so I kind of had to get some white and black and kind of mix my own. Just something you can totally do if you're ever lacking a color and need to create it. And yep, that came out pretty decent. Now we've got our hilt done. I'm going to take some alcohol and swab away at the center there because I want that to be clean. Because I'm going to put down one of these chameleon powders called Grape from Resin. And it's going to be a kind of shimmery, gothic-y looking purple that's going to fit in with the color scheme we have going here. I'm just going to brush a little bit more of that in there too while I'm at it. Kind of tilting it around a bit because you've got a deeper mold, which I love deep molds because I feel like they always just make a more solid product. I don't like a flimsy product. And make sure we get all the sides. And now cleaning off the hilt, and I'm deciding I'm going to put a little bit of that grape up there too because that was just a little overwhelming with the gray. And because I think it will look really good together. So I've got the hilt, got the little stone in the middle. And I think I'm going to pour a little bit of that into the veins of the leaves. Because why not? If it's working, we don't need to fix it. I thought about adding a little bit of pink variation, but I was like, nah, not this time and not for this. Now we've got the veins of the leaves kind of mapped out. I'm coming over with black. I'm going really gothic on this piece. Real horror novel, because we had one that looked like the absolute opposite to this, and I'm kind of just making this to the yin to the yang, so to speak. Is it yang or is it yang? At any rate, you get my meaning. Just dust that in there real good. Here we are at the final stretch. And this time we're going to mix up our resin, but instead of using white mica powder the way I have in the past, watch what is about to happen here. Right, we're going to be pouring just completely black pour. I am a little bit excited and a little bit nervous about this, I have to admit. I don't know if I've ever done, like I've done black pour, but just regular plain unpainted molds, but I've never done a black pour over mica powder, so it's going to be real interesting to see how this one cures. And I'm just going to very carefully kind of use my popsicle stick to make sure that it gets into the little points of those leaves, make sure it goes where I want it to go. Sometimes I feel like I'm icing a cake when I'm working on these. So I kind of goofed and I have no idea where the demolding video of this is. I've looked everywhere. I don't know if I accidentally deleted it. I apologize for that. It's been a very hectic week getting ready for a festival in the middle of doing this video. But look at how it came out anyway. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. The little brushing of that chameleon powder I did over the leaves is even showing up through the black. You've got the blue on the vines that have just turned like an even darker midnight blue. And some of that blue and the silver of that white powder did show up against that black resin, so maybe it just needs a black pour for those mica powders to shine. But I will get to show you how I picked out the colors for the hanger of this beautiful Gothic creation we have going on here. And I'm kind of just deciding at this point in the process what beads I want to put on the little wire hanger that we're going to create, because I mean, I have always liked to have ways to hang my art if I could. I mean, it's awkward to hand that to someone at a fair. And I've even seen other booths make this mistake where they have this beautiful creation they made, but really no way to hang it. And I would like to take the headache and the stress of the customer having to reinvent the wheel and figure out how they're going to get it on their wall. Plus, with beads, there's always a way you can make something beautiful even more beautiful. I love beads. I love to use them in my work. So yeah, I think I'm feeling that color scheme right there. I think we're gonna go with that. And now we're gonna start with the silver wire. Bendy silver wire, easy to manipulate, easy to get the beads on. Now these little quick star tubes of super glue are a lifesaver if you have to glue something in place really quickly, like so. That's how I got the beads to stay in a certain place on the wire so that they won't move. And it's the way I'm going to start getting the wire attached instead of taping it this time, because it's being so cooperative and lying so flat. I'm going to super glue it first and add the adhesive onto it later, because why not? Make things easier for myself. And there we are, it's hanging on the wall. Very stable, not going anywhere. And as you can see, the colors show up even more brilliantly in the sunlight, and it looks even better sitting next to its cousin there. And that was how I had them displayed this passing weekend on my table. Man, they look excellent together, but I think I like the Gothic look better, honestly. Again, I'm gonna have to do more of these in the future. Well, if you've stuck so far with me in this video, like and subscribe. It will help my small channel grow. And I'm excited to see you in the next art story. Bye for now.